Hey guys, it's Katie Cakes here, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. Mid-year freakout book tag. There we go. This is my third time recording it because my camera was being all funky, so hopefully it actually works this time because I'm getting sick of filming this video. But that's okay. I want to do it, so I will do it if it messes up again, but hopefully it doesn't. So anyway, let's get into the questions. There is 13 questions. I'm doing it up until like the end of June. I had hoped to have this video out last week, but it didn't end up working because my camera was being all weird. So yeah, the first question is best book you've read so far. So for that, I picked The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I loved this book. I also really liked My Favorite A Half Night Stand by her, or them, I guess. I thought this book was amazing. Ooh, sorry guys. I'm sure that a lot of you guys have actually read this book, and I feel like it will actually end up being on a lot of people's best books for the year. But if you don't know what this is about, it's about there's this couple that's getting married, and then like the maid of honor and the best man happen to be the siblings to that couple, and they hate each other. And at this wedding, they end up having a seafood buffet, I think it is, and the dude doesn't eat buffets, and the girl is allergic to seafood. So neither of them end up eating the buffet, so they're the only two that went to the wedding that aren't sick with food poisoning. And her sister, the bride, is very lucky and wins basically everything that she signs up for. So she won their honeymoon, and it's non-refundable. She can't change the dates, anything. So her sister goes in her place with the groom's best friend or brother. And then on their honeymoon, they have to fake being in love because they end up running into his ex and her soon-to-be boss, and it's funny. This book was great. I absolutely loved it. So if you haven't read it yet, I would definitely end up checking it out because it is great. Question 2. Best sequel you've read so far. So for this one, I didn't want to pick the obvious choice for me, which would have been any of the Vampire Academies that I reread this year, because obviously I love them. I read them every year, and I read them for the 10th time this year, so yeah. But I didn't pick the easy choice. For this one, I picked After We Collided by Anna Todd. I know that I'm like super behind on this series. I've finished it now, but I know that it came out in like 2014 or 2015. The movie just came out, which is what got me interested in it. And then I also got really interested in it because of I can't think of her name right now. Yeah, I can't think of her name right now, but she did a video on the After series, and she absolutely loves them as well. So she, like, her enthusiasm got me very interested in reading them, so I picked them up, thank you, and I ended up loving them. I wasn't too happy with the movie adaptation, but I'm going to try and watch it again and see if I have a different opinion, which hopefully I do. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you guys what After is about because I feel like everybody knows what it's about because I'm very behind. Question 3. What new releases haven't you read yet but want to? So there is quite a few. I want to read Fix Her Up, The Bride Test, I think it's called The Wedding Party. There's like a bunch. So I'm very behind on my new books, but I'm trying to finish my old books because I have an abundance of those as well. Question 4. Most anticipated release of the year. So for that, I would have to say Leave Me Breathless by Jodi Allen Malpas. I'm really excited to read more from her. And then The Hazelwood 2 by Melissa Albert. I don't remember what it's called, but I really like the first one, so I'm excited to read the second one, which I think comes out soon or might already be out. I'm not sure, but those two. Question 5. Most disappointing read of the year so far. For that one, I picked They All Fall Down by Roxanne St. Clair. So if you guys remember my review from that book, you'll know why I picked that to be the least, or like the most disappointing. I was really excited to read that book. It sounded really cool. Like, it was about this, like, it was a YA mystery type thriller thing, and it was set in high school, where every year someone makes a list of the hottest girls in school, and the top 10, if you're on the top 10 list, you end up like dying. So the girls that are on the top 10 list start dying, and they're trying to figure out how to fix it, but it fell flat, and it wasn't exciting, so it's very big disappointing for me. Number 6, most surprising read of the year so far. So I'm thinking that would mean, like, either it could be surprising great or surprising bad. But for me, that meant bad. So for that one, I picked My Best Friend's Stepfather by Opal Carew. That book was really, really bad. I love Opal Carew's books, usually, but this one was disturbing, and I didn't like it. I'm pretty sure that I did a review for that one. I think I read it in April. But yeah, it was good until like the last third of the book. I was really into it, and then some twists happened, and it was just disturbing. So yeah, wasn't happy with that book. Question 7 is new favorite author so far. I would have to say Christina Lauren. I've read 2 books by her already. I own her entire Beautiful series, and I'm working on getting other ones. I'm interested in reading, I think it's called Love and Other Words, and Someone and Someone's Guide to Dating. I don't remember their names. And Roomies. I really want to read Roomies. So definitely I would have to say Christina Lauren, because I want to read all of her books. Question 8. Newest fictional crush. For this one, I don't have one. I really don't get a lot of crushes. I can think my last one was probably Dimitri from Vampire Academy. So that was 10 years ago, and he's just kind of stuck with me. So yeah. Question 9. New favorite character. For that one, I picked the lead for Flirting with Fire by Piper Rain. So her name is Madison, and his name was Mario. I really ended up loving their story. I thought they had great chemistry, and they were written really well, and I can't wait to read the second books. I got this book in a Romance Reveal book box. I'm so glad that I picked it up. It was great. So it's about the main couple, went to high school together, and he is a fireman, and she is a interior designer, I believe it is, and her and her friends end up going to the firefighter auction, and it's like one of those ones where you have to like bid on the fireman for a date, and all of her friends end up bidding for another girl. So like the main girl, Madison, picks for her friend, I don't remember her friend's name, and then that friend picks her that one, and that one picks for him. So they don't end up picking their own date, their friend picks them. And her friends both know that she's had a crush on this guy for like forever, since high school. So they see that he's there, and they end up setting her up with him. It's really cute. And yeah, I own the second, like the last two in the trilogy, and I am so excited to read them. Question 10, a book that made you happy. So for this one, I had to put it on there. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise, but I love The Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. I also really like Spirit Bound, but I think this one's my favorite because it's the end, and they end it so well, in my opinion, and I love it. Again, I'm not gonna tell you what this book's about because you should know. It's like 10 years old, at least. So, yeah. Question 11, a book that made you sad or cry. So for that one, I picked The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks, and you should all know why. One's by Nicholas Sparks, and two, just the story itself. I'm assuming you all know what this is about. If you don't, I think you live under a rock. Although, I probably do too, because I just read it. But yeah, it was a great book. I loved it as much as I loved the movie. So that's good. There was a couple things that I would have changed in the movie after reading the book, but I still think that they did a phenomenal job, and I was happy with both of them. So, question 12, most beautiful book you've purchased this year. So for that, I picked, like, Before by Anna Todd. I don't particularly like the book itself, but I just love the way that the covers are. Like, I just think they're so pretty. So basically, I just picked all of the after covers. But if we're going for like inside, like the actual story that's beautiful, I would probably say my favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. I really liked that book. And the final question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So there's a lot, but I've limited myself to my Romanceopoly TBR, plus a couple books that I just want to read in general. So, so I want to read The Host by Stephanie Meyer. The movie was okay for me. I enjoyed it enough. I'm not honestly sure if I'm going to be able to finish this book, just because I really don't like the writing in Twilight. And I know she's the author for it, so hopefully it improved a little bit when she wrote this book. But I'm not, yeah. But I do want to read this book, so hopefully I will be able to get through it. And then I have the City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare. I haven't read these yet. I know they've been out for like ever. Does it tell me on the bottom when they came out? 2007. Haven't read them. It's been 12 years. Wow. I need to read these, guys. And then I have the Pleasure series by Laura Leah. I think there's 7 books in this series. I've had those ones for a while. And then I also have Wallbanger by Alice Clayton. I have the trilogy, so if I do like the first book, I can continue with the series. And then I have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This book, like when I first heard about it, I wasn't interested in it at all. And then it caught my interest randomly, so hopefully I do end up liking it. And then I also have the Gathering series, not Sillies, by Kelly Armstrong. I have read a book by her before, and I didn't like it. It was her writing that bugged me, so hopefully it's not the same as this one. But it also has deckled edges, and I don't really like deckled edges because it's really hard to read the books when they have deckled edges. But so I have those ones. And then I also want to read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have read the first 4 novellas in the series, and I am planning to read this one very soon, but I am hoping that I will want to continue with the series. I also want to read Soul Surfer by Bethany Hamilton because I loved this movie so much. So yeah. There's a bunch that I want to read, and I'm sure that I'll find more, but that's what I'm going to stick with for this because otherwise we'd be here for forever. So we will just say those. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you.